you send me the screenshots?
I'm gonna send it now.
All right, we're gonna get started in a few moments here. Got a couple important things to talk about today. Just give everybody a moment to get connected. All right, happy Friday, everybody. We have very important updates for you all, and a lot of it has come from your specific requests to learn more about these important announcements that have happened. We are doing a live with Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. So if you have any questions, please, by all means, send them in the comments. We also have some that we received via Instagram that I'll get into shortly. So first, without further ado, I want to bring out my wonderful associate attorney, Lara Ghannam. She's been with us over a year. She works so hard and has become quite a baddie when it comes to immigration law, and we really appreciate her here. Welcome, Lara.
Hello, everyone.
So, Lara, I know that you've been doing immigration for us, but you do have some other information or work experience, rather, with a previous law firm before us. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Right. So I actually started out in civil rights and human rights. I was working for a nonprofit organization. So through that is where I got a lot of immigration experience and exposure. Not experience, but exposure. Not necessarily doing the type of work that I do now, but more focused on working directly with clients who are experiencing issues with Customs and Border Protection upon their entry, or they're being detained at the airport. So that's kind of what introduced me to immigration and really inspired me to join the immigration firm here at Mubarak Law.
And you also have some car accident experience?
I do. So I worked at a really great a personal injury firm here in Central Florida, and I got a lot of car accident experience there as well, working in plaintiff personal injury, so defending and representing clients who have been in car accidents, slip and falls, and the like.
And do we handle car accidents?
Oh, absolutely, we do. So if anybody has any issues with car accidents, truck accidents, slip and falls, things like that, where you've been injured not on your own fault, then please do contact us and we would be happy to help you.
And, you know, a lot of times people believe because of their immigration status that perhaps they cannot pursue a claim, but that's not true. You definitely have rights to pursue a car accident claim if you were in an accident. So, of course, if you were in an accident, please get help, seek some medical treatment, contact us. You do have 14 days to get any type of medical treatment from the accident to preserve the claim. And in Florida, you don't have to have bodily injury insurance. So we tell people to please get underinsured motorist insurance before you get in an accident, God forbid.
Yeah.
So one of the other things that we're going to talk about today if you follow us on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or YouTube, whatever it might be, talked about Haitian TPS, and TPS is temporary protected status. I think we have a typo there. It says TPF. It should be TPS. So then basically Haitian TPS allows for people to obtain a work authorization. And in Florida is one of the largest populations of Haitian nationals in the country. And so they're an important part of our workforce and our population, and many people were waiting to obtain work authorization. So now that's been extended, you can file for your extension. But the other good news is the redesignation. There's some important dates from Haiti. What do people need to know if you want to get the temporary protected status?
So for Haiti, in order, that has been one of the countries that have been recently redesignated. So that means that they've extended the period of time for people to be protected under this law. So for re-registration period for people who already have this TPS through Haiti, specifically through Haiti, or specifically under Haiti, the re-registration period has already been completed as of May. But people who are registering for the first time, people who are re-registering under Haiti, it's been extended through August 30th, 2024. And that means that if you've already had it, you have until that date to apply for your renewal of your TPS. For people who are from Haiti who have not had TPS before, your registration period is a lot longer. So you have until February 3rd, 2026 to register for TPS under Haiti. And you qualify if you've had a continuous residence in the United States since June 3rd of this year, of 2024. And your physical presence, which means that you're in this country, begins August 4th, 2024. So, if you need more information, we can definitely explain more about that.
Why is there two dates of continuous residence and physical presence? So continuous residence, that you have established living in the United States as of June 3rd of this year. But let's say you're here on an international student visa and then you traveled for summer break. Are you going to now not qualify? Well, so long as you're back by August 4th and you can establish that you were living in the United States as of June 3rd, you would qualify for temporary protected status Haiti. Now, there's been numerous other countries as well who have been redesignated and allowing for first-time registrants, and just similarly, those who already have it to extend it. Yemen, Venezuela. We have all of these on our website, and as well at the USCIS website as well. You can see who's eligible for TPS and why is it so important. Now, I tell people, they'll always say, Nayef, I have asylum pending, I have this pending. Do I really need to re-register? Do I need to keep paying the filing fees? Well, if you have asylum and you have a work permit through asylum, you don't need to pay for the work permit for TPS. But you need to re-register because this is like a safety net even for those cases who lose asylum. Andre, we're just going to ignore the banners for now, if you can. So thank you. The TPS is a safety net for those who have cases pending, and it's not a sure thing or a guarantee. So if you lose your asylum, many people don't realize that you'll have a deportation order. But if you have TPS or temporary protected status, then that will allow you to continue working here and to stay here in the United States. So this is really big.
Nayef, if I can also add to that, not just for asylum cases, but we have a lot of clients who are getting ready to register or getting ready to petition through their spouses or through their children. It's also highly recommended that you just try to maintain some type of status. God forbid something happens to any of those other cases, you'll at least be protected under TPS if you're eligible.
Right. So that's important. We always say it's less than $200 to register if you're not doing a work permit. It really is so important. And what happens in the future, if they don't allow for people to register or redesignate, you'll never be able to renew it so long as if you failed to register the first time. So it is a great thing to do. We tell all people to do it who qualify, even if they are here in lawful student visa status, because you don't know what the situation will be when you graduate. Do you want a work permit? Can you find a job? It's never hurts to have a plan B. And really in immigration, the thing we tell all of our clients is we want a plan A, B, and C, and figure out what's going to work best for you, because a lot can happen. President can change, policies can change, your marital status can change, and TPS is one thing that can protect you for those who do it. So one of the questions I got on Instagram, let me pull it up. It says, American citizen petitioning for his brother overseas. Can a green card holder mom petition for them faster? So this depends on the visa bulletin, and the visa bulletin has different categories. Brother is a F4 category, and a unmarried son or daughter of a legal permanent resident is going to be F2B, I believe. And I can tell you what they're working on right now, and it'll give you a quick example. So F2B, they're working on cases from May 2016. Sibling petition, they're working on cases from August 2007. So it's about 9 years different faster. So if your mom is a green card holder and your brother or sister is unmarried, then they can petition for them, and it can be much faster. The visa bulletin has a lot of important updates, and it changes from month to month. So you need to be sure to pay attention to that. Now, in those categories, if you do get married, that goes away and you would have to qualify. So what you can do is you can have multiple family petitions pending for the same person, which isn't uncommon. Again, it's a good strategy to always plan for multiple different options. So thank you for that question. And the other one, let's see what it is.
I would like to add about
time?
Sorry.
Yeah, go for it, Lara.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would like to add about the visa bulletin. So you can definitely also prepare for the month ahead, because on the visa bulletin website, they not only show you for the current month, but the upcoming month as well. So if you're not yet ready to file this month and you want to see what the visa application might be for next month, you can definitely look. That way you can prepare ahead.
And that's actually this morning in the DMs on Instagram, there is already a question like, can visa bulletin shows August being current for, final action, final date. Can we adjust status here on a student visa? Well, we know that in August he would be able to. So what we can do now is start preparing the entire case, wait for the calendar to turn to August 1st and mail it out. So this person can then adjust status. Now, if you wait too long and now it's September, it is very possible that the visa bulletin goes backwards. So you need to be sure to file your adjustment of status application when the visa is current, and you can't presume or assume that this is going to remain the same. Very often, the visa bulletin does go backwards. So it's very important to keep that in mind. And we are going to talk about the Biden program in just a second. I just want to answer another one of these questions. There's two related to asylum. And here it says, what is the process or timeline of a U.S. citizen to petition for asylum applicant spouse? So as many lawyer answers will say is that it depends. If the asylum applicant spouse is in deportation proceedings already, then that can cause delay. If they are simply pending a USCIS interview, it shouldn't really cause delay, and you can put them in normal processing time. And we're seeing about 10 to 14 months for a spouse of a U.S. citizen to do adjustment of status. If they are in removal proceedings, or known as deportation proceedings, it's going to be a lot more convoluted, where there's going to be motions to terminate. There's a presumption of a higher standard of proof when you get married in removal proceedings. So these are different things that can make a case get longer. But so long as the applicant is not in removal proceedings and they're just simply waiting for their interview with USCIS, shouldn't really change the processing time, which what we're seeing is about 10 to 14 months. So one of the big things that people want to know about today and what they've been talking to us about is Biden's program to keep families together, keep American families together. I'm not sure what the official title is, but it's essentially a parole-in-place program. And if Lara, have you explain to us a little bit what the parole-in-place means,
Sure.
and what does that typically cure?
Sure. I think the actual name is like parole and unity of family, but I'll look it up. But this new Biden program is for a lot of spouses who are going through the provisional waiver process. So that means that they entered without inspection. So they didn't enter with a visa. They weren't paroled into the country. They came in without any type of status, and they remain here. Then they married a U.S. citizen, and they've been married now to this U.S. citizen since before June 17th, 2024. So they have to have been married to this U.S. citizen by June 17th, 2024. And also they have to have been physically present in the United States for at least the last 10 years by June 17th, 2024. So 10 years prior. So you needed to have been here since June 17th, 2014. And that way, when you're doing the first step and you're petitioning through your spouse, the process that we've normally seen is that once this spousal petition is approved and the client wants to now apply for a green card, they would have to leave the country and go to their home country or a third country and apply through the consulate and do their interview there. That's what the provisional waiver was. That's what it is where you're asking for forgiveness for being here. Please forgive me, allow me to go back and do my interview. That way you'll have permission to come back to this country. Now, under the new Biden program, if you qualify under these requirements, which means that you've been present here for the last 10 years, you've been married to a U.S. citizen by June 17, 2024, you have no disqualifying criminal history, and you've entered without admission or parole, so you've entered without inspection, Now, instead of having to leave this country and go and do the interview at a consulate, you can apply for what's called parole-in-place, which means you're essentially being admitted as a parolee, and you can now adjust status, do your green card application by remaining in the country.
Right. And what we don't know, okay, is so the parole will cure the unlawful entry, but they mention a period of 3 years and work authorization, which is great because for people who are waiting for a provisional waiver now, the wait time is 2 to 3 years. Like you've seen us post some of these approvals that we've gotten recently, and people have been waiting 3 years for the provisional waiver to be approved. And during that 3 years, most applicants are not eligible for work authorization. So this is one, great because it will give you the ability to work, and two, hopefully make it not required to travel. We don't know if there's going to be like some kind of requisite that's going to say how long you have to stay in this status before you can file for adjustment. They would have to modify some of the regs for that. We don't know what criminal history is going to disqualify you. We don't know if it's going to cure other things, like if there's ever been a misrepresentation or a marriage fraud or deportation order. So there's a lot of unknowns, and we just have very much the skeleton of it, which is, have you been here for 10 years? Have you been married to somebody who's a citizen prior to on June 17th and before? So this is all that we have to work with. And so first and foremost, if you see anybody out there advertising, hire us or pay me $2,000 or pay me $1,000, and you need to like run for the hills, this program has not even been out yet. It's not even been officially released besides what we are telling you. And we've had our USCIS liaison meeting, which we help organize from my office with Orlando USCIS. And they found out about the program, day of. There's some USCIS members that I've communicated with there said, or Department of Homeland Security. I said, hey, what do you know about this? Like, what are you talking about? Like everybody was made aware of this the same time through the newspaper. So I think there's still a lot of planning that needs to come out, and we don't know what it is, but you definitely can't apply for it yet. We definitely don't know what the limitations are. So please, we're doing this really to help alleviate you all of the stress that, especially our clients, that we know who might be eligible for this. We're not ignoring the concerns or the excitement behind it, but it's still too soon to tell. So we don't even know how much it's going to be, or like Lara mentioned earlier in our meeting, is this going to be a limited registration period like TPS, right? So there's still too much we don't know. So what can we do now to prepare? And before we talk about what we can do to prepare, my question for Lara is, what about stepchildren or children? Can they be included? Is it this only for spouses, or what about people with green cards? What can be done here?
So regarding children, if the spouse, the foreign spouse, has children, and now this child is the stepchild of the U.S. citizen or the green card holder spouse, they can also potentially qualify for this new Biden program, but they have to qualify under the definition of what stepchild is. So you have to be under 21, you have to have certain requirements that qualify you to be considered a stepchild, and to have your green card or U.S. citizen step-parent to petition for you. So it also applies to them. There's possibilities out there. So even though we don't necessarily have a lot of information just yet, as Attorney Mubarak said, we kind of just have the skeleton. We're keeping an eye out, and we're trying to stay updated. We're attending programs and seminars to make sure that everybody has the updated information. So as soon as our clients or people who are potential clients are eligible, we will let you know what the next steps are.
Right. And what can we do now? Like, for example, we know proving your status or your life here in the United States for the last 10 years. Well, this is something that we have to do often with many other types of applications. So, literally start gathering documents and having a file for every year, right? We're going to go back 2013. If you have any medical documentation, if you have any speeding tickets, hospital visitations, registering your child in school or university, I want to see several documents from several months of each year organized, right? And then you can start to at least work on this, which is probably going to be the most time-consuming thing for many people. If you don't have these documents, or you need to go get transcripts, these things take time. So you should start working on these items now and start making these requests from universities or past employers, whatever it may be, to start gathering these documents for the last 10 years. That is like one of the only things that I think we can start doing now to prepare.
I would also,
yeah, go ahead, Lara.
all right. I would also say, if you haven't yet started the first step of the process, which is the Form I-130, which is the petition, I would say also begin that now. Because we don't know if this program is only going to be for people who have already approved I-130s. So it's better to start that process now. That way, by the time there's an approval, we'll at least know which way to go for you.
Yeah, at minimum, schedule a consultation with an attorney. Doesn't have to be us, right? An AILA attorney, somebody with experience, and learn about what is the process. Start getting mentally prepared for the fees. What documents am I going to need? If you happen to have criminal history, then you need to start working on getting those documents. We need the certified copies of arrest reports. Disposition. Disposition means, how did the case end? Maybe you were arrested for DUI, but then you got a reckless driving. All of these things matter, and you should really pull up these documents prior to even going to your consultation with your immigration lawyer. Now, for me, I'll probably use some of that criminal evidence even as a way to prove that you're here. Let's say there was a time where we don't have any evidence that you were here in 2018. Well, God forbid you were a victim in a bar fight or you got a speeding ticket. This is evidence that can be used to show that you were actually in the United States present. So this is what we can prepare for. And this is like the majority of what we see coming. Now, they promised us end of July that we would have more information. We're almost to the halfway mark. We'll see what's going to come. But that is some of the biggest updates we've seen, and that can change a lot of people's lives, specifically being able to work. One of the hardest things is telling somebody, yeah, I have a solution for you. It's going to take 3 years, but you can't work in the meantime. And under this program, it is going to allow for individuals to obtain lawful employment and to correct their, while they wait to correct their status, they are able to work and help provide for their families and contribute to the U.S. and, help with some of even the employment staffing issues we have in our country. So that is a really good thing that we've been seeing, hopefully being promised. But again, it's just too soon. Keep in mind that we don't know the fees, who's going to be eligible, how much it's going to cost. So nobody should be charging you any money right now. Please don't fall for any scam. Notarios are not attorneys. In many countries, notarios in South America are considered attorneys, but that's not the case here. A notary is somebody who can validate stamps as signature documents that do not make them eligible to practice law. But so that is a really big update. In addition to Haitian TPS, Venezuelan TPS, Yemen, and the Biden proposal, that's where we are, and we wanted to be here. So if you have any other questions for us or anything else to add, Lara, please let me know when we can keep going.
I think that I wanted to address a question that I hear a lot from my clients is, how can I get a driver's license? So there are many options on how to get a driver's license. And depending on what your status is or your lack of status is, there are certain documents. So I can't necessarily give a general idea, but most of the time it's, the receipt of whatever petition you filed, that you would just need that with a valid ID to be able to go get a driver's license. But if you do have issues at the DMV, because I have seen a lot of that with our clients where there are issues, just contact me and we can try to figure that out for you on what exactly you're missing. And that way you'll at least be able to get around with a valid driver's license.
Right. I think it's an important point. Another important point is we sent out that the immigration court at its new location is now open. And we went from 7 judges to over close to 20 judges. It is cranking out court dates. If you have been waiting for a court date, it's going to come. Make sure that your address is up to date. If you fail to update your address with the court and you don't receive notice and you didn't update them, you will have a hearing, you will have a deportation order. So please make sure that you've updated your address, that you're well aware of where the court is, so you don't miss any court hearings based on just having simply the wrong address. That is probably the big update I'd like for you to remind you all. As you know, at my office, we're always here to help. We believe knowledge is power. If you want us to do more of these lives or has questions, please let us know, and we'll reshare this video. And if you think anyone else will benefit from it, by all means, please share it. And thank you, Lara, for taking the time to join me.
Thanks, Nayef.
Everybody, a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And we hope to be in touch with you all soon. If you want to know how to get a hold of us, of course, you can contact us at the number here or through social media. And of course, on our website at mubaraklaw.com. Hope everyone has a fantastic weekend, and we will be in touch.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.